I must be out of my mind, but 30 seconds from now, I'll be right back. Good Monday morning to you. Don't want to overwhelm anybody. Hi, this is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City. I have no clue who else will be up in this unearthly hour, but actually, to be honest with you guys, I am a morning person. I do not presume that you are. I recognize it's Monday. I recognize it's early. I recognize also that it's the first day back after a long weekend. And I'm going to check comments in a couple of minutes to give anybody who's just as crazy as myself. I'm not alone today. Steve will be coming on shortly, and be patient with me because I'm going to be trying a technical technique that I have not done before. You know, working these live things like anything else has a learning curve. But what am I going to talk about today? The whole purpose of today's show, and you're so kind to view it, whether it's now or on playback, is talking about thinking, living, and going outside of the box. But I don't know about you. I definitely need a sip of Morning Joe. Have a sip with me. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Yes, and it is Monday, and it is after a wonderful past long weekend. Tell me something. Does anybody out there have a hard time transitionalizing from, let's say, hi ho holiday to, oh, well, back to the salt mine? Da, 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 da. In a minute, I'm going to be able to hook up with Steve Young. And I want to share a story about the most unusual job interview anyone in their lifetime could ever get. So it's so very kind of Steve, you know, at this unearthly hour, and so very kind of any of you who may be there ready to comment. And if you're not there, that's fine, because it is, after all, very, very early on a Monday morning. And I do understand that. So without further ado, I want to welcome a very household name in my channel, my wonderful channel contributor, Steve Young. So bear with me. I'm going to try to bring him on. So give me a second. Okay, we'll try it again. Oh, good morning. Welcome, 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 Steve. So nice of you to come here today. I really appreciate it. You need, what are you drinking, tea or coffee or?
Well, yeah, like I had my coffee a little while ago. I had about, 23, 24 ounces. I'm trying to cut back a little bit, but now I'm just drinking Bigelow green tea with a teaspoon of sugar in it. So
You know, that's wonderful. This whole show is about doing different things, taking risks, whether they're as simple as changing the kind of tea you drink. I got a tiny story about that. About a year and a half ago, Patty from the Life of Patty channel, she gifted me with, like, in a friend mail, with like a ton of different teas. And everything looked so great, whatever. And I said, well, I normally don't really drink this kind of thing. But guess what? I grew to love those kind of things. Like, for example, the orange one, the ginger lemon, the mint one I had years ago. But I mean, literally, even if the change is as tiny as changing the kind of thing that you drink, your tea, you're a coffee connoisseur. Can you, I mean, you
I
know
am.
so many flavors. Yeah. Is there any one flavor that you really love or you need to still try, or what?
Well, no. Well, when it comes to American coffees, I try to stick with Folgers is always top of the list. It can be any of the roasts pretty much. Let's see, chock full of nuts is pretty good. I do like 8 o'clock coffee. One of my favorite roasts in the 8 o'clock is one called Colombian Peaks. It has such a wonderful aroma. Now, if you go back to my ancestry coming up with, on my mom's side of the house, I grew up drinking something called Medaglia d'Oro, which is an Italian espresso.
Oh,
Um,
that name rings a bell in my family. Yeah.
I've also done the Cafe Bustelo that comes in the yellow container. They're pretty similar. I think one is slightly stronger than the other, but almost to me they're very similar. And that
Yeah.
and that's about it. I mean, I from time to time I will do an instant coffee if I feel too lazy to put the coffee maker together, which usually that's only a 2 or 3 minute technique for me. So, but and as far as teas go, the orange and spice has got a nice flavor, and the ginger being very good for the immune system. Now, it's a funny thing about tea with me. If it's hot tea, I prefer honey in it. Cold tea, I don't mind the sugar. And when I do the sugar, I don't do a full blown sweet tea because I'm in the South and that's like the capital of sweet tea. I like to do like a 70-30 or 80-20 ratio. I like more unsweet than I do sweet. I don't have a real strong sense of sweet like I did when I was younger. My taste buds have changed. So that,
Wow. Well, that happens, and it's the idea of evolving. And I'm going to tie it into Money Monday because some people may be saying, "Well, this is Monday, and it's been a while since Janet had a full blown Money Monday." Not true. Every broadcast I do on a Monday, whether it's on a live format or 15 minutes of tea, always ties into something financial. And believe it or not, thinking outside of the box or not thinking outside of the box has a huge connection with wealth building, with jobs, with career. Let's put it this way. I wonder how many people, whether they're viewing this live, which is probably an audience of about maybe one, just goof, and it could be more. I'll check in a minute. It doesn't matter. Or later on today on playback, I wonder how many people, for real and for true, really maybe bypass things in life, or they live in ho-hum existence. They have to ask that to themselves. They're perfectly content with it, doing problem solved. I mean, if you're okay with that. But I think for myself, I can't keep doing the same tired method over and over and over. I even mentioned that, by the way, head on over to Steve's channel, because to be honest with you, last night's show that I did on your channel, Steve, really was like the prelude to understanding this show better. Now,
yeah,
Steve, I know in a couple of minutes you're going to step away for a minute, and
right.
that'll be the time that I'm going to share with the audience a very unusual circumstance in which I accepted a job. But it's a little bit of a story, and it all ties in with Money Monday. If you don't take certain risks, how can you increase your wealth? How can you, even when it comes down to going to the grocery store? Steve, aren't there a gazillion ways that we could save at the grocery store?
Yeah, of course.
Right. I mean, yeah. So it's about living in a world of choices and taking the risk to not getting that brand name that you're so brand loyal to. I'm not saying all no name brands taste just the same. No, it's not true. But if you could save $1 or two on just that one product alone and multiply that by 5, you're taking a risk. You're breaking outside of the box. Oh, it must be in that packaging. Sometimes I think the packaging plays a psychological trick on us.
It can.
Did you ever look at something with identical ingredients in it at the grocery store and it's store brand versus brand loyal brand?
Okay. I just happened to mention this on the last live that I did with you. I can repeat it again. All right. I have a store locally here. It's called Save a Lot. It's kind of like an Aldi in a way, for those that are familiar. Um, all right, you go in. I'm just going to use this as an example. I don't like ketchup. I don't love it either. But I did when I was younger. But here's a good example. A bottle of Heinz ketchup was $3.49. A bottle of their brand, same ounces, same everything. The ingredients are the same. Calorie count is the same. $1.59. So for $3.18, I can get two their product versus one Heinz and still have what, about 30 cents left over, 40 cents left over, with the sales.
Precisely.
So,
Or even just take that savings difference if you don't prefer, if you only need the one bottle. I'm just saying, you have choices. We could do your way, which is great too.
I have another prime example here. Now, but my real love is actually mustard. Okay. If you notice, it says Kurt's Yellow Mustard. Okay. Well, to give you an idea, this bottle at Save a Lot was 99 cents. It is 20 ounces. Now, that same bottle in Heinz or French's is $1.69. So for 20 cents more, I can get two of these.
That's a gift.
To
me, that's a gift. And or slash the shopper may decide, I just need one. I live alone. It'll last me a while, but I'll take that physical $1 or $2 savings, physically put it to the side or hold it for next week. Just because you're allowed to spend $100 on your grocery haul does not mean you must spend $100 on your grocery haul. But, so we're talking about taking risk, good risk. There's bad risk and there's good risk, but risk is risk, taking a risk and going forward. By always saying no to things constantly, you may be depriving your life out of a lot. And I have to say, I'm going to, jump in a second because I know you're going to step away in about 1 minute and return in about a minute. So it's about 6:28 now. Maybe it wouldn't hurt if I get the full screen up and then you take care of that and then, whatever.
Yeah, I'll let you know when I'm back, because StreamYard is very, very.
Well, yeah, what I'm going to do, Steve, is just go a full frontal picture on you. Forgive us for the technical talk, but I'm learning this, so I really appreciate your patience.
Yeah.
I want to go a full frontal picture on me. You don't have to leave the broadcast studio and re-sign in. You just, hang out again or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm only.
So if I check in with you at about 6:32, would you be back about then?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So Steve will part company. Let me just try this, guys. Be patient with me. I loves you.
All right.
Okay. So that gave me the full screen back. Like I said, learning curve. Hey, if we don't take risks, how are we ever going to learn? You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I want to share with you my story. But first, let me see in the comments section who's here, if anyone at all. Oh my gosh, there are people here. Wow, I love you guys so much. Good morning, Sharon. How are you, dear? Mwah. Good morning. You're awake, but you're not up. Okay. How kind of you to be here. It's too cold and wet. Yeah, we're going to have a wet, nasty day here too. Granny Prepper, good morning, my dear. I don't want to overwhelm you guys. And it's 4. Oh, no, I hope I didn't scare you at 4 o'clock in the morning. No. That's so sweet. Good morning, Lee. I love you my whole life. Good morning, Olivia Willis. How are you, my dear? So sweet, you guys here. I really love you. I have to share a story. Most of you guys by now, love you back, Granny Prepper. Granny Prepper. I was a school teacher, and I didn't wake up and say one day, hey, I want to be a school teacher. I did not, okay? But I did do a lot of voluntary work at my local Christian school, the same school I attended my whole life as a child, and I went on to Christian high school and so on. But my love affair was with broadcasting, like radio stuff. So I wasn't really necessarily interested in becoming a teacher per se. Okay. I just wanted to focus on the radio kind of stuff. Okay. Because God gifted me the gift of gab. I mean, I admit it. I know that. But making a long story short, I used to volunteer my time as a teacher in religious subject matter and stuff like that. And I was always there in a pinch. And well, I didn't wake up one day and say, hey, I want to be a teacher. No, 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 no. But what happened was at that time, my daughter was like 3.5, 4 years young. And I was in the supermarket, local supermarket shopping with my mom, bless her heart. And we were at the checkout counter. And ever hear of the TV show Welcome Back, Kotter? Well, that was me, because what happened was just beyond belief. The principal that was at the checkout counter asked me to come and teach for a couple of days as a substitute. It was okay at that point because I did voluntarily teach there. It wasn't like I never did it before, nor that I was unfamiliar with that school. I went to that school. I'm an alma mater. Matter of fact, that principal was my principal. So I felt truly like I'm Welcome Back, Kotter, and this is Sister Woodman. just saying, but that's besides the point. So it was kind of scary. So she's asking me to teach over the checkout counter in a supermarket. I'm like, after we left, I said to my mom, God rest her soul, I says, Mom, did that just happen? Did I just get a job offer, even though it was substitute teaching for what was supposed to be a couple of days? Okay. So, it's 6:32. I have to keep my promise to Steve. I'll be right here. Remember, I'm learning this, guy, so be patient with me. Let's see if I could bring him back.
Hi, I'm back.
Steve, thank you.
There
Hopefully you're listening to this story, but I know that you know this story because you know me personally. So, okay, so we went home, my mom and I, my little girl, and we're just having tea. And I'm like, I still can't believe what just happened. Okay, I'll do it a couple of days. Well, I have to share. I went into the most, goodness gracious, forgive me, chaotic, disorganized classroom. It was like a jungle in there. I mean, I never saw anything like it. The desks were in disarray. The kids were throwing paper airplanes. There was total and complete chaos. Now, just imagine, I'm 26, 27 years young, and it happened to be the day before my actual birthday. So this is fresh in my mind because my birthday is on the 5th, and I started on the 4th of December, okay? And I'm in there going to myself like, dear Lord, please, please be with me. Like, I know you're with me, but please give me an extra dose of being with me. What am I walking into? But then I kept consoling myself. Oh, guess what? This is just for today. Ha 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 ha. Maximum 2 days. Ha 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 ha. My birthday's tomorrow. I kept focusing on anything to get through it. So I walked in and I said, good morning, boys and girls. Then I turned around, wrote on the note, on the blackboard, my name at that point. Wrote my name down. They're like looking at me like, huh? They were waiting for their regular teacher. Their regular teacher, true story, literally had a nervous breakdown and left that class. Literally.
Wow.
And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm walking into a den of thieves, into a fiery pit. Will I come out like you know who did of this fiery situation? I'm like, and they asked me, why me? Why me? I kept saying to myself, why me? But my religious training and all my faith base taught me, well, why not you? Why not you? So, okay. So I got that classroom in order. I got them in ship shape. They weren't afraid of me. They actually loved me because you want to know the truth, Steve, and everyone else listening. Kids actually want stability. And they want somebody. This poor sweet teacher was just too kind, and she was almost afraid of disciplining the classroom and teaching them cause and effect and appropriateness of behavior, time and place. And that was the first lesson I gave them was time and place. And these little cute wormy kids were like this. They're all like, so because it wasn't my first rodeo teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, goodbye, sister. You know, it was the next day was a Friday. Goodbye. And it was my actual birthday. So I'm like ready to run out of the building, right? She's like, I'll see you Monday, Jan. What? What? So sister said, I'll see you Monday. I said, really? She said, please come back Monday. Just one more week. One more week? I said, good Lord, good heaven up above. You not. No. So I said, okay. I just, wiping the sweat off my brow. Said, this is my birthday. Nobody's going to ruin my birthday, right? Okay. So I had my birthday weekend, if you will. Went back Monday. Another week went by. I said, well, I'm done now. She's still standing there outside of the door. Jen, I'll see you Monday. I said, sister, I thought this was supposed to be a substitute job for 2 days. We are now entering, we just finished week 2, going into week 3. Not even one chat, Steve, about pay. Not even one chat about paying me.
Wow.
Okay. Apparently God loves me working for free all the time. Hint, 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 just saying. No. That's my role. So anyway, okay, I was like, okay, I'll give the poor nun another week and then I am done. Okay. Like so done. But meantime, I was getting closer to the kids and they were like, oh, we really love you. You know, I taught them the same basics that I learned. Cause and effect, you know, your homework has to be done. Pay attention, law and order in the classroom. That's the way I operate. But I also will reward you. I never believed in giving kids homework on a Friday and all that. They got used to me. They knew every Friday meant test day. Okay, so this is, I don't mean to bore anyone with this story, but so this is week 3, and I'm like all revved up. Yeah, I'm going to say bye-bye, sister. Ciao, ciao. No dice. Jan, can you come into the office, please? I felt like 5 years old going back to sister's office. And the locals who know this nun that I'm referring to are probably laughing their behinds off because we know who we mean. So, okay, so I went into the office, only sitting there going like, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm an adult. I can leave. I don't have to hear this, right? I'm like, going, so yes, sister. Jan, we want to offer you a position. We recognize your talents. I'm like sitting there going, but I want to go on the radio. I do not want to stand in a classroom and all this and all that. But you know what? The bottom line is I took a risk. I went for it. And what was supposed to be a substitute job, which, by the way, some of my students still keep in touch with me and might be watching this and they know who they are. And they're fine young men and women, and God bless them. Unfortunately, the principal is gone, but she made a huge impact on my life. And what was supposed to be a 2-day substitute job that I accepted while my mother was standing there, we're checking out food at the grocery store with my daughter screaming, turned into, what was it, 7 or 8 years, whatever it was.
Yeah.
A really long time. Mm-hmm. And looking back, if I didn't take that risk and accept it, I accept it because God called me to the classroom. Sometimes God wants us to do things, well, actually many times, God wants us to do things we don't want to do. We didn't plan on doing. We didn't expect to do. And that's why, thank you so much, folks, for coming here so early in the morning. I just think this is like an important and valued lesson. Take the chance. Don't be afraid. God's with you. Mm-hmm. If something is meant to be, it is going to happen. Let me go back to these wonderful commentors, my friends. Granny Prepper. Olivia, I would have been saying, dear Lord, please touch these kids. Please touch these kids before I die. You're funny. Right, Olivia, on that one. Hi, Letitia. Hello from New Mexico, my dear.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello from New York. Hi, everyone. Adam, good morning.
Good morning.
I really hope I didn't overwhelm you guys with this story so early in the morning. But actually, Steve and I, right, Steve, we felt that because it's Monday, because it's transitionalizing day, because we just had a fabulous holiday weekend, and now we're going into the work mode grind, that we thought this is the time to say, hey, take that chance. It might just be the best thing you've ever done. Don't doubt yourself. and always know that God is on your side. God is on your side, because if
Mhm.
something is meant to happen, no matter what I did to stop it, Steve and everyone, it still happened.
It still
Nah,
happens. Yeah.
I still did go to broadcasting school, and I still did a little bit of radio and stuff like that, because that's something I love to do. But eventually, broadcasting was a little bit delayed, and here I am broadcasting live on YouTube. So just go for it, guys. God is telling you something.
Yeah. 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 If the
He
word, if
won't leave you. He won't leave
it's a
you.
message that you got to do it, it'll usually, it'll. Um,
My dad, he always yes.
coming back to your teaching days, the reason I guess why I like the story is because the year that you started, late '84, when you started teaching, I was of that era of kids too. I was in fourth grade at the time.
Steve
So
would have
I,
been my student. He's in that age bracket of a person that would have been one of my
one of
students.
your
So
students.
we definitely have that, like, that psychological different. But although Steve is a very mature individual, so sometimes I forget myself and I think I'm talking to a 58-year-old gentleman. But
Well,
the reality is you're only 46. So a lot of my former students are in their middle 40s now.
mhm,
And
yeah.
and I have to also, Don, if you're watching, that's my daughter. Don, I want to thank you, because that was a big change for you. It's not easy being the teacher's kid, because those kids have to go through a lot of pressure. Oh, your mother said this, and your mother does that, and blah, blah,
Mhm,
blah, blah. And what? And one year, I have to share this. Guess what else, Steve? One year, all the other teachers in the school, their kids were about the same age that would have been in my grade. I taught the third and sixth grade. They all wanted me to be their kid's teacher. Don't ask me why. I'm like, oh, gee, no pressure, no pressure. My coworkers' kids, like, no pressure. If any of you guys are watching, please know that was scary. But God got me through it, and God will get you through it. If there is something you're contemplating, whether it's, how many of you out there want to start a YouTube channel? And yes, Adam believes that things happen for a
a
reason.
reason. They do. They really do.
Adam, you didn't know I was a teacher? How do you think I get up and talk so much? One day, some people have put a muzzle on me. Thank you, Granny Moreno, saying good morning to
Good
us, but we
morning.
love you
Good
so
morning,
much.
Granny.
We love all of you guys
Yeah.
so much. What was I teaching? Well, I taught in a self-contained Christian school. I taught religion, English, math, science, social studies, reading, and I'm the one that brought art back. Other teachers forgot about doing art. I was like, where's the art program? So I brought that back. And, spelling. What
Hmm.
else was there? I mean, just so much. I mean, I was in a self-contained classroom. I was a homeroom teacher. I did all of it. And of course, religion was the very first subject of the day. We did not start our work day per se, unless Christian religion. And the beauty part of the whole thing was that there were people who were non-Christians, and their parents sent them to that school to help convert them to Christianity. So, I mean, that's amazing. My mother said, Janet, you're not doing a small thing. Even though that was your school and you went there as a kid, you as the adult now, because I used to volunteer my summers. Steve, I used to volunteer my summers, even when I was a kid with another friend of mine. Every summer, we would physically go into the school. I was age 11, age 12. We would move furniture. We would paint desks. We would do voluntary teaching in high school. And the principal was like, where are you, Janet? Come back. So I'm like, yeah, I just want to be a mommy. And she says, what do you want to do? She was very blunt, this principal. What do you want to do? Stay home and watch soap operas all day? I said, sister, I'm trying to get into broadcasting. She said, well, you could come broadcast by us. You have to love her. It all worked out. Please take those risks. Don't put it off. I mean, time goes, I look back and say, you know what? I'm really glad I did it. And that goes for being a YouTuber. Steve, do you enjoy, like, when you get on and do a broadcast, for example, on YouTube?
Yeah. I mean, because I'm such an open-minded person, again, I always consider my channel, being a little bit in the incubator stage because I'm just starting off. But I mean, even though I have, a history with you, but I mean, me on a separate entity, I'm, incubator stage. But I do. I mean, I'm open-minded. I mean, I can talk about pretty much anything. If I have a mind block, let's say I have interaction, let's say I have you aboard. Sometimes if I don't know where to go with a subject, like if you start off or say something, my mind will have a way of, turning it back around, and then I can interact. And then that breaks the mind block thing. But usually I have no problem, discussing.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
talk about the price of fish to, who wrote a certain song and everything in between. So it's not like,
Adam's asking you a question about background, but I want to interject before Steve does that. I know Steve a long time, and his background is like purely love of music and getting the message out there. And because we knew each other personally, and I said, you have an amazing voice and an excellent way of communicating. He said, did you ever consider YouTube? And then I realized, hey, wait a minute, want to join me on my channel? And Steve was so kind to do voluntary, and he still does. You're right here now contributing to the channel. And if you have a leg up when you started a channel because you became a household name in my channel, good, you earned it. I mean, you were there. You co-hosted many shows with me, and both of us make $0 doing this. This is, like I said, I was goofing before, so I guess God
Mhm.
likes me to not get paid for anything I do. But some things, some things are just beyond monetary value. If I helped one kid, all right, eventually I did get paid to teach, okay? Because I can't just give up on my family and just volunteer 30 hours a week and all that. So then she's like, no, you have the qualifications, just let's do this. I was like, really? I said, well, let's do this, sister. Can we just try this like 1 year? Because you have to sign a contract in the diocese. And so I signed a contract, and I was like, my teeth were like shattering. Gotta like signing contract. But then I realized half the year is pretty much over, and it's only till June. So in March of that year, I get a tap on the shoulder. Oh, Jan, here's your contract for September of '84.
Mm.
85, excuse me. I'm like, I was at the crossroads, like, should I come back or whatever? And then, like I said, 2 days of substitute work turned into like 7 years of continuous teaching. But anyway, Adam graduated from Gritty Purpose at Karma. Yeah. And Adam says he graduated from university. Where's my glasses?
With a
Some
degree,
teacher.
I'll read it, with a degree of economics, but I work in healthcare. Oh, that's fabulous.
Oh,
That's
by the way, let us both take a minute to thank every healthcare worker out there during this special time. I worked in the healthcare industry after teaching, and I'm not going to lie to you. I worked for 6 doctors. One was a celebrity doctor. I met a lot of famous people, but there were days where I honestly missed working for nuns and priests. So, yeah, you guys, doctors can be tough. Sorry, docs, we love you, we need you, but hey, take it easy a little bit on, your assistants. They're people too. I'm going to get a little flack on that one, but I'm just saying, love you. Adam, with a degree of economics. Well, God bless all of you.
Yeah.
So please let me know. Is there anybody out there right this minute that's viewing this that is considering a YouTube channel? You can let us know. Hey, it's just us, right, Steve? Just you, me, and about 5 people.
5 or 6, yeah.
Right.
Which is not bad.
I'm goofing. There's playback later. Maybe 100 people will see it.
Yeah.
But take that leap of faith. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I think we have absolutely a fear of failure. What says you, Steve?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I'm pretty sure, especially when it's something that none of us have ever done. Oh, but I've never done this. If I do, what if such and such happens? I might not make it. Or, yeah, I think that's probably the normal thing everybody's going to think, especially if it's something Greek to you. Now, if it's something that you might have a slight knowledge of, you're not going to feel so insecure about it. You'll have a little bit more, oh, well, I'm not worried about this. I'll have no trouble. It'll be a cinch. But if you don't have any thought of what it is, it's something that's completely no. Yeah, you're gonna have that sense of failure there. But keep in mind, even at that point, don't always think if it's something that you're going to do that you've never done. You could do pretty good at it.
It doesn't always have to have like this big ribbon at the end. I'm looking at a comment, dear. Human in training. I have one, but it's not going anywhere. That's okay, though. Guess what? Human in training. I'm on this platform. It'll be 3 years in July. I'm only at 1,040 something subscribers. But the ones that are here want to be here.
Yeah.
And I'll take those folks that really want to be here over the 25,000 that just tap something and never watch you again. So it all depends. Human in training, I will visit your channel right away in a little, as soon as I can this morning after this upload comes to playback. I would like, yeah, we got it right, Steve. We'll visit. Why don't you tell us, what is your channel about? Because that's one of the missions of my live shows. I want to get on people that are below 1,000 subs to share your story and to share your channel.
Mm-hmm.
Just need a little bit of exposure. You know who helped me get my original exposure? I was sitting at below 100 subs forever, till one day I was a subscriber to Money Mom, and she like just loved watching my stuff. And then she says, no, you have. I said, no. She wanted to shout out my channel. Says, oh no, I can't have you do that. No. She says, oh no, I want to shout out your channel. And thanks to that shout out, it jumped over the 100 subs, which is so pivotal. Right, Steve, to the first. Steve has a channel. Steve is at, well, how many subs do you have now, Steve?
I'm at 23. Like, well, you know, for the longest time, I just used YouTube as to go and watch little videos, how-to things, and music being my, you know, a big love of mine. And, you know, the people that I subscribed to their channel for music, they would come and subscribe to me. So I had 6. So, you know, one of the things about YouTube is that, you know, I had 25, but you're always going to win some, you lose some. Everything is a come and go.
Yes.
You know,
it's very fleeting.
But the ones who really want to be there will stay there and follow you out.
That's it. So even though it might take a little longer or whatever, like mine is like a slow jelly, like doesn't anybody like this channel and why? You know, I need your help for 2 people. For Steve, who's a baby channel that needs to get out there. We know he does great work. We who are viewing know that Steve does great work. If you know someone who would be interested in checking out Steve's channel, by all means, encourage them to subscribe. Myself, I'm at 1,040 something subscribers. I'd like to be at 1,100 by the end of the week. Who can make that happen? You. Why? Yeah. Because the sharing is, it's not the idea of getting subscribers. It's the idea that I'm giving important messages. And wouldn't it be nice for other people, and so does Steve, important messages to get out. Look at it as your way of sharing important messages. If they weren't important, why are you sitting here? Because you're smart. That's why. Human in training, thanks. Some political, some just general thoughts. It's under human in training. Gotcha. Okay, well, thank you. I definitely want to check out your channel. Adam, yeah. I would like to change my job one day, but I'm afraid of failure, as most of my colleagues who left tend to come back. Well, there's an old saying, Adam, and I don't know how, I know you're significantly younger than myself, I believe. I don't know your exact years, but it's true. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Take 3 guesses who encouraged me to do YouTube. You're staring right at them. I was thinking, I'm thinking about it. Should I do it? She's like, you could do it. Go for it. You could do it. And I'll use this analogy for the 100th time. And others who know me have heard this one already, but for the new people watching, he literally took me from the helicopter and he went, get out and just do it. So thank you.
You're welcome.
If I don't earn 25 cents from doing this, I have earned great friends and the ability to get messages out. But I would like to get paid one day. 2.5 years of working, you would like to get paid for it at some point. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people work a job for 2.5? People think that it's just the broadcast. And it's like, oh, well, she only did 10 minutes work. Steve, isn't there a bit of prep work before these things?
Yeah, we don't.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, because we don't just get out here and just blah blah blah. I mean, we for those that don't know, we usually, we usually meet up a little bit beforehand, and we chat about 10 or 15 minutes to put our thoughts together. That way we don't excuse the pun, and I mean nothing, but because we don't want to just come on live and like, okay, Jan, we're here now. What? You know,
I wouldn't waste the viewer's time. You wouldn't
no,
waste the viewer's time. We have to have a message. We have to have a reason to sit here. Would I like to just sit here and hang out? Sure. That wouldn't be fair. There has to be a message. There has to be a reason for that viewer to come by. And I'm not going to spend my first 20 minutes going, well, wait, let me have this technical issue resolved. That's why I feel a little badly about like asking you to wait a second while I tap things in. But the only way to learn is to learn. So you can only learn it during the live broadcast, unfortunately. Human in training. My best one is Pammy has cancer. I think that one is really helpful. Okay. So that's your video name, dear? Pammy has cancer. Okay, we will absolutely check it out. I don't know a thing about the channel other than it's new and flourishing, and every newbie channel deserves that exposure. So head on over there. I'm going to later. Well, Steve, do you have anything else to add? Anyone else have anything to add? Because I know it is Monday and everybody's like got to get dressed or go to school or kick back. Oh, by the way, today's Cyber Monday. Did I forget?
Oh, yeah.
Your plastic is going to get worn out. Say, be careful, guys. I know you could get great deals, but like I'll always say, January always comes. Just saying.
I will say this about Black Friday. Is it really worth going out there, waiting in all those lines, fighting over something that's $50 for $20 when you can just sit at your computer 3 days later or 2 days later and virtually, I mean, I was just watching the news a few minutes ago. Everybody is running sales. I mean, me personally, this year's a little different because, the COVID, but usually I haven't gone to a Black Friday in 12 years, and I wouldn't dare go to one. My neighbor says, oh, I'll come by and honk my horn and we'll go. Yeah, at 4 a.m. in the morning. So I don't do
Black Friday this year, I mean, Cyber Monday is actually part 2 of the last Friday because this year it was more about folks online. They had outstanding. I'm not putting it down. We need the economy stimulated. Just be careful. Work within your means. I mean, this is stuff we talk about many times, right, Steve? I mean, don't go above your head. I mean, because we get caught up with the lights and the music and the escapism. Keep in mind, there's a lot of escapism going on because we want to escape all bad news all the time. Restrict your time on negative information and it'll be okay. Letitia, you really appreciate the advice on, well, we appreciate you coming here. We love sharing it, Adam. I don't bother about Black Friday whatsoever. That's very wise. Right. Anything else, Steve, you want to add to this before we go?
Not really, because usually, well, what I tend to do during the holidays, because the last thing you want to do is buy somebody something. Oh, but I wanted the pink one. I want the red one. And that's a letdown to you. But what I tend to do, I learned a little secret about that. Listen to your family and close friends. Listen to throughout the year. Oh, I really would like to have one of those. I will take that into perspective. Okay, you got rid of me.
No, I'm just trying to experiment. Go ahead.
I will take that person's thought into perspective. If they haven't gotten it, I will go ahead and purchase that for that person. Then they won't know. It'll be a surprise. But one of the things that I've learned to do is just give a gift card. Gift card is flexibility. You go where you want. You do.
Can't go wrong. But use them, folks. Don't put them in a drawer, and then they depreciate.
Expire.
Use your gift cards or expired. I mean, instead, it's a total loss for the giver.
That's it.
Well, I want to thank everyone who participated at this unearthly hour, but it's not that unearthly. It's just a big sacrifice because it is Monday morning and you guys are getting ready for a lot of big stuff. We really do appreciate everyone's time. And I'm glad that I finally had a chance to share how I became a teacher story. I did not plan on it. God had other plans. And that's my faith. God has other plans. You may have all the plans you want, but God has other plans.
He does.
Okay, everyone. Steve, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you, everyone who participated live. You know, we love you. We really, really do. And we'll be back real soon. And next weekend's going to be a huge weekend. I'm going to have a birthday celebration on the 5th live show, Saturday. And then the next day, I'm going to have How Debbie Saves channel and Ellen from the Ellen Abundant Life on Last. Head over there. Have a great week, everybody. And of course, I'll be sending regular recordings like I always do. Thank you so much. Have a great day now. Take good care. Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.